It is Period Action Day. And if you've been following FGH, you know that we have started our FGH Redbox Initiative in 2019 to celebrate our 1-year anniversary. And so we did a lot of research, and it revealed a lot of important things. And in many cases, many of us may not even think of these things because we have access to resources when we need them. But it sparked in us a desire to do even more. Hence, the FGH Redbox Initiative was born. So with today being Period Action Day, we want to spread awareness and to remind you that if you or someone you know in our service area, the PD or Low Country regions of South Carolina, if you're in need of supplies, please do not hesitate to reach out. I want to share with you some details from a report. And the report shares, hopefully, information that you will find so moving, so inspirational, so thought-provoking that you will walk away wanting to do more in your community, in your businesses, in your schools, just everywhere, so that we all have access to what we know is essential, menstrual items. So the State of the Period 2021, commissioned by Thinks and Period. This research was conducted between April 26, 2021 and May 2nd, 2021, and over 1,000 students were surveyed. The new data shows that period poverty, which is the inability to access menstrual items when needed, has jumped to nearly a quarter of all students. That's up from 1 in 5 in 2019. And of course, lower income students of color have been particularly affected. Students are deeply aware that the impact of period stigma and lack of access to the materials that they need presents many issues for them in their lives, and it is believed that there needs to be more advocacy for menstrual health and equity. So in 2019, and again, that's when we started our Redbox Initiative in 2019, we learned that there was this concept called period poverty. Of course, there would be a thing called period poverty. We just never heard of it before then. So period poverty is a major issue, and it does not just affect those who may have housing instability or who may be experiencing homelessness. It also definitely is a major issue for those incarcerated, but it even affects everyday women like you and me. Because sometimes you may have many of your other needs met. Maybe you have paid all your bills. Maybe you have purchased the food that you need, but there may be some other things that you had to let go or push aside. And so many women, so many people are doing that. And so we want to spread awareness, highlight this issue so that we can do our part to eliminate this issue. So today, many people are rallying to help hopefully get all of the states to eliminate the period tax, the tampon tax, because these items are not they are not luxury, they are essential items. Let's say that again. These items are not luxury items, they are essential items. And we all can tell you, it doesn't matter what gender you are, when there's a point in your life when you come upon the need for something and that item or whatever it is not there, we really understand in those moments, if we didn't before, just how important the item is. And on any other day, you may not even think about it until that moment comes. So these items are very essential. And when people do not have access to these items, they result to making things that they feel would work in that scenario. And it could be dangerous to them and also to their health, not only their physical health, but their mental health as well. So you have so many people using socks or newspapers, old cardboard, to make pads for them to use during their cycle. And that should not be happening. We need to do our part to make sure that we all have access. So many people believe, just as I do, that tampons and pads, menstrual items, whatever your choice of use is, should be readily available, just like tissue should be readily available when you walk into the restroom or the bathroom, right? Imagine walking into the restroom or bathroom, as many of us probably have, maybe just because someone just didn't bring a roll in from the cabinetry or whatever the case may be, or maybe the store hasn't restocked, but they have plenty, they just didn't know they needed to restock. Imagine that feeling when you're like, oh, I need tissue. And so that is the feeling that so many feel when their cycle is on. And we want to eliminate the stigma of talking about something that's so natural. It happened. It's a part of life. And so many people don't want to talk about issues like period poverty or just having periods in general, because it is such a taboo word, taboo issue. And it's an issue maybe to different degrees in different parts of the country and different parts of the world, absolutely, but it shouldn't even be taboo at all. We have to begin to talk about these things. So it is Mental Illness Awareness Week, and so we've been sharing a lot of information on our main pages about mental illness, so that we can eliminate, one, the stigma, as we want to do with period poverty, and so that we can spread awareness, so we can all do our part to check on each other and make sure we're all living healthy, sound lives. So what does mental illness or mental health have to do with period poverty? Well, when you don't have something you absolutely need, imagine the toll that it takes on your mental health, right? You become stressed out, and we all know what stress does to the body. It makes you sick and causes a whole domino effect of all things happening internally, and then of course that manifests itself in many cases externally as well. So they, like many things in life, are connected. So we want to not just see this as a one gender issue. No, it's an everybody's issue, because we all have people that we love who we are connected to who may have this problem or who may have a menstrual cycle. So it's an everybody's issue. So again, let's get to some of the statistics that we want to share. The study found that lower income students and students of color are more impacted by the lack of access than white and middle income students. Nearly half of Latinx students, 46%, say returning to school made it easier for them to access period products. And 23% say that they have had to choose between buying period products and food and clothing. Going back to that point, and no one should have to make a choice between food, clothing, and menstrual products. 23% of students have struggled to afford period products. 16% again have had to choose between food or clothes as a result of the pandemic. 51% of students have worn period products for longer than recommended, which is also a bigger problem. If you don't have enough of what you need, you literally still find yourself back in the same position of having to make choices that you should not have to make. 18% of students believe that the COVID-19 has made it more difficult for them to do their best schoolwork during their period. 27% think being back at school has or will make it easier to access period products. But we know that this problem has started obviously before the pandemic, but of course, like many things, it has definitely become a bigger issue because of the pandemic. But we want to make it very clear this issue definitely existed before the pandemic, but a lot of the research and exposure to period poverty just happened to really come to the forefront in 2019, and then of course right around the corner we entered into a pandemic. Again, the stigma exists around periods. We want to eliminate that. Students across demographics continue to report struggling with period stigma. The school environment is especially difficult for students while they have had their periods. Being in school and experiencing stigma can draw up feelings of embarrassment and make people uncomfortable being at school. In many cases, it has a direct impact on their ability to confidently complete schoolwork. And that should not exist. And in many cases, as a teacher myself, you know that students go through so much, just like adults go through a lot as well. And in their particular case, just as many adults may, they may not even attend school or may not even attend work or wherever they should be, whatever they are responsible for. They may not even do those things during that time because they may not have what they need, or because it's so difficult to manage it in whatever environment that they're in. You want to try to hide it. We spend so much time trying to hide it. We teach everyone when you're younger, when you first get your period, you get a lot of instruction on how to be very, very discreet, how to hide your products, or so that no one knows that you're on a period. And we absolutely get that. But the reason of why we're doing it is because there's an embarrassment attached to it. That is what needs to be eliminated. 76% of students say there is a negative association that periods are gross and unsanitary, and 65% agree that society teaches people to be ashamed of their periods. 70% say the school environment makes them especially self-conscious of their period. 83% hide their period products when they walk out of class to go to the bathroom. 65% do not want to be at school at all when they have their periods. And 38% often or sometimes cannot do their best schoolwork due to the lack of access to period products. And there are so many more statistics in this report that I could share with you, but we're going to be sharing them on our Facebook pages for you today, especially the FGH Redbox Initiative page. So the problem obviously starts at a young age, as you can see, for our students, again, for our homeless population, for our population maybe suffering from homeless insecurities, and also for our everyday working people who also, have enough, but who also struggle to get the other essential items they need. But when you see them, you think, oh, they have a home, they have an apartment, they have a car, oh, they have food, oh, they're good to go. And that is why we always say, you never know what someone is going through. You never know what someone needs. And that is why with FGH, we don't ask questions. If someone is in need of something, we do our part, and what they do is on them. We just hope that everyone is getting what they need, and again, doing our part to do just that, meet needs. So again, today is Period Action Day, and people all over the country are doing what they find important, and again, many are rallying so that the sales tax on these products can be eliminated. Many feel that these products are a luxury, and we're all here to say, no, they are not luxury items. They're items that we need just as real. The need is just as real as the need for tissue. It is not a luxury. So please do your part in your community. Again, reach out to your schools if that is something that you can do to make sure that you can help them meet the needs. And many times the nurse office or maybe the school office, but I know many teachers who also try to have products for students because sometimes the student may feel more comfortable going to them. We want to make sure that in the businesses that products are readily available and no one has to pay for them, because I don't walk into the restroom at work or anywhere else and have to pay for tissue. So I don't want anyone to have to walk into work or a building, whatever the case may be, and have to pay money for a pad or a tampon or whatever it is that you may need. It is just as essential. Do your part, spread awareness, and if you can't do anything else, share this video and share the post that we're going to share throughout the rest of the afternoon, evening. We thank you, as always, for your support as you support us with all of our initiatives. We are Forgiving Hearts. I am Charlene McKnight, founder and executive director. We foster forgiving hearts and responsible citizenship. Have a wonderful day. Bye, guys. It is Period Action Day.